I often sit and wonder how things could be.
Good morning, Sade.
I guess we'd better tell them.
Good morning, Lynette.
This is a brand
Good morning,
new day.
Miss Stan.
Don't leave it up to the
Folks,
other man.
this is unbelievable. It's 23 degrees here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and it is so cold. I've seen this happen, but when I lived in Cleveland, it was so cold that the key, the lock would not turn to get into the studio. So it was very interesting. But you know, the good thing about experience is you remember what to do. And so we quickly got some hot water and poured it on the lock, and it warmed it up so it would turn. So that's why we were a couple minutes late this morning. We could not get into the studio. Who would have thought 23 degrees in Wilmington, North Carolina, December? I mean, that just, they were going back and they said this hasn't happened in Wilmington. It was the lowest temperature since 18-something. So this just says this. There's a lot of changes taking place right now in the world, and we have to be able to adjust to them so that we can do what we have to do to get where we want to go. 28 days to the end of the year, and it's very interesting. It seems like the closer you get to the end of the year, the quicker the time moves. You know, it's when you're traveling and you come home, and all of a sudden you got to go to the bathroom. As you pull up in the driveway, you got to make that mad dash. Good morning, Dawn, Corey. So we look at these last 28 days and how the time is speeding up. And you have to ask yourself, you know, what can I do? What can I do now? I see it going. It's 26 in New York. Wow. Yeah. The time is speeding up. And what can I do to keep pace, stay on track, and accomplish my goals? Number one, we call it the four-step process. And by the way, this is basically covered in our book, in our course, New You for the New Year Home Study Course, which is, of course, available online at New Me in 2024. New Me in 2024. So with 28 days left, if you're on track, you'll know it. If you're on track and you've been keeping score, you'll know it. And this just says, keep doing what you're doing, but do it a little more. Do it a little more efficiently. If you're not on track, you'll know that too. But in any event, whether you're on track or whether you're not on track, it's a constant process, a four-step process. Number one, to assess where you are, to constantly look at where you are right now with respect to the things you said you wanted to accomplish by the end of this year, which is another way of saying the way that you want to enter next year. So if you want to start next year making excuses and half-stepping, whatever you do at the beginning of the year sets your tone for the rest of the year. Now, you can fix it. You can change it. But wherever you start the new year, there's a tendency to be congruent with that behavior. So assess where you are right now. Look at your goals. Look at the things you said you wanted to do, accomplish by the end of this year. Realize that there are 28 days left. So that's really 4 solid weeks left. What can you do on a daily basis for the next 28 days that will make a huge difference in what you accomplish this year? The Wise Circles, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your website. Kenya Crooks is the personal trainer to Mary J. Blige, personal trainer to the stars. And he knows so well, as a personal trainer, when people start setting those goals for weight and for body size and dress size and pant size, that it's a gradual process. You can't speed it up. You can't just one day let me work off 10 pounds. That does not happen. So assess where you are right now. look at your goals, look at the results that you have to date. And a part of this assessment is, number one, to look at your goals. You know, sometimes I never like to revise my goals. Once I set a goal for a certain amount of time, I like to adjust my activity level. If I'm not getting the results I thought I should, then maybe I need to do more. Maybe I'm not putting in enough time. If you have to, you may you may revise your goals, but generally when you set a goal, you created a thought in your mind, which is a vibration in the atmosphere, and this vibration literally is the start of the creation of the things you want to accomplish. So assess your situation. In that assessment, look at some things. Once you look at your goals, look at your assets. Look at what you have to work with. Sometimes when we're not accomplishing all that we set out to do, we're not most fully utilizing the tools that we have. Sometimes the assets may be people. And I see Dawn is on the call tonight. Dawn has been working with us to help us get the Success Mentorship call up and rolling. Dawn is responsible for all the quotes that we have every day. So thank you, Dawn. Dawn is an asset. Look at some of the other things you have. Maybe one of your strong assets is endurance and persistence. And so how can you do more? How can you be more persistent in accomplishing the things you set out to do? Look at any products you may have. You know, I was looking around, and as we were looking at closing out the year with our goals, and we were thinking back, we go like, wow, we have so many videos. I've done like 3 series of podcasts. And I mean, the Millionaire Mentorship series is serious. I mean, that's 100 interviews with some of the top people in the country. Les Brown, Karen McCarty, you name it. And so I said to myself, well, you know, these are assets. How can I put them to use now to create more buzz, more energy to help me accomplish my goals? So look at some of the things you've created in the past. If you're a speaker or a writer, look at some of the clients, some of the customers you have that are assets. The point is that as you assess your situation to change or to step up your game to accomplish your goals over the next 28 days, once you look at your assets, you say, okay, now let me revise that. I know what I have to work with. Step 2 now, what changes do you make? What changes are necessary now to take you where you want to be over the next 28 days? I was looking at some of the things and I'm like, okay, I need to get up earlier. Okay? And I'm really glad I did this morning because I had no idea. Well, you know, you hear the weather report. Yesterday it was like 32, 33. But it's a big difference between 23 and 33. Trust me, okay? So you hear the weather report, but now at this time this morning, we had some unexpected things happen. So one of the things I'm knowing now, knowing that lock will freeze, then tomorrow I'm going to get here a half hour earlier. Normally I come into the studio at about 20 of 8. Okay? But now I'm okay, as long as we're in this cold period. So that's an adjustment we have to make. So look at the adjustments you have to make over the next 28 days to accomplish your goals. Maybe there's some people you need to really rely on. Like Dawn is, without Dawn, it would be a tough situation because the graphics thing I'm not that competent in. And now this is something interesting. I'm not that competent in, and it's not an effective use of my time to try to learn it now. Okay. Sade's on the line. Sade worked a lot with us and helped take us to a certain point before. And that's powerful. In other words, who in your organization, who in your sphere of influence now can be an asset to help you, that you need to rely on, that you need to reach out to? What habits? As I said, I need to get up an hour earlier. You said, why is that? because I need the extra time to do the things that must be done. So what behaviors do you have to change over these next 28 days? So what thoughts are congruent with where you want to be in 28 days? What emotions? You know, you're going to do that mirror talk, pumping yourself up. Whatever it is, I accomplish it. I am it. If you're weight loss, I am 172 pounds. Okay. If it's a certain amount of sales, I sold X amount of dollars in sales. If it's a relationship, man, we're talking each and every day. Okay. So get that emotional aspect under control. Look at the habits you need to change and the relationships that you need to help you get where you want to go. Step 3 is now recalculate. Now, when I say set new goals, take the goals that you have now and reformulate them in a certain way. See, the goal does not change, the activity changes. Fine. Okay. If you find that the goal needs to change a little bit, you know, do that if it's necessary. But generally, once you set that goal, it's the activity level that has to change. Whatever changes you have to make now, you roll into step 4, which is your daily method of operation for these next 28 days. And a part of your daily method of operation is to, 1, write, operative word, W-R-I-T-E. You can do it on your phone. You may have one of those planning systems, but write out your activities for the next day the night before. Don't wait until you're tired, okay? Write it out so that you not only have a list of things that you must do tomorrow, but you have the schedule of when these things must be done, and you allow enough time to get them done. Make the commitment to stick to your schedule. They say, okay, I wrote it out. I need this extra hour in the day, so instead of getting up at my normal 6, I got to get up at 5. Now that means you got to go to bed a little earlier, okay? But you start looking now. This is my daily method of operation. I got to get up at 5 to do the things that I have to do to be where I need to be at 8 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, at 12 o'clock. Commit during the day, from moment to moment. Interruptions will come. People will call you. Stuff happens. But commit moment to moment to ask yourself, what is the best use of my time right now when I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose where I want to be in these next 28 days, and then act accordingly. You know, sometimes, and I know it's happened to you, you'll get that call, and it's an important call, but it's not a call that has to be done today. Very often I'll say, hey, is this something that's critical right now? Does it have to be done today? Can we do it later tonight? Can it be done this weekend? And you'll find that very often when you're up front with people, they go like, yeah, well, we can talk about it over the weekend. Great. You know. So that one statement of how to use your time during the day is a game changer. Because you'll find that the distractions that come in, once that time is gone, whatever activities you had planned for that slot of time now go undone. How does that impact the rest of the day? How does that impact tomorrow? In your daily method of operation, focus on IPAs, income producing activities, and RPAs, results producing activities. And the standard is the goals. The results that I'm getting each day, are they relevant to and support where I want to be in the next 28 days? Is the income I'm generating or creating each day, is it sufficient and relevant to where I want to be in the next 28 days? And so once you really have those standards now of doing it and of operating, run your life just like you would run it if you were working for someone else. I think that's the key there, folks. When you work on a job, they tell you what to do, how to do, and when to do. And you know what you learn how? You learn to do what they say, when they say, the way they say. That's how you keep a job. Well, it's the same thing when you're working for yourself. Your dream is your dream, and your dream is just as important as that paycheck you get at the end of the week. And so each day, take that same attitude. Work it, schedule it, hang in there, avoid distractions, and get it done. And then each night, go over your list. And see, that's one of the reasons you really want to have a written list. Because if you don't have a written list, if you try to keep it all in your head, I guarantee that you'll forget something. Go over your list now, the things you crossed off during the day. Celebrate when you get it done. Recalculate when you have to. But whatever you do, you follow this process for the next 28 days. And I'll tell you this, it's only 28 days. But you can take these 28 days and use them to mold and create the life that you desire. Someone may say it's only 28 days. So what? There's something you can accomplish in these next 28 days that will get it done. IPA, income producing activities, and RPAs, results producing activities. IPAs, income producing activities, results producing activities. So folks, today is your day. Today is your day for greatness. Today is your day for success. That's a lot of time of you. Thank you. That's a lot of time if you have a plan. Thank you so much, Sade. A plan is critical. Without a plan, it will not happen. So folks, today is your day for greatness. I recommend you do two things. One, check out our New You for the New Year Home Study course. This course can help you be, do, and have exactly what you want to be, do, and have. Go to New Me in 2024, NEWMEIN2024.com. 2, visit our website, herbertharris.com. If you don't have a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, that might be the key. That might be the answer. That might be the solution. Maybe you need to talk to somebody. Schedule a success consultation. And then number 3, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Share this broadcast with other people and let them know that they can always come to the spiritual watering hole and be uplifted, inspired, motivated, and transformed. This is Dr. Herbert Harris saying thank you so much for being with us. This is your day for greatness. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Thank you so much, Sade, for all that you've done to make this real. So it is.
Singing a song that's sad makes you kind of wonder why everything seems so bad.